So I have something to admit to you, bro. This month, I relapsed 6 times on NoFap. And most people don't have the courage or honesty to admit things like this. And honestly, it's a lot bigger of a problem than most people think. Like, this is a struggle that a lot of guys now can relate to, but it doesn't get spoken about a lot. And so I know that all my friends and all my family are gonna see this video, but it's the truth. And so I wanna open that up to everyone. So if you're having trouble on NoFap, listen to this story. When I was in middle school, that was the first time that I was exposed to corn. You know what I'm talking about here. I'm not gonna say it on the video, but you know what I'm talking about. And at the time I had no idea about it being bad, or there's bad effects, or there's anything wrong with doing it. I didn't know it affected my mental health. I didn't know it affected my energy levels as a kid. I didn't know it was such a big distraction that was gonna affect my self-image. And so me being a kid, I just kept doing it over and over, pretty much daily, especially when I was in middle school. And bro, let me tell you, I was down bad. I would do it like 2, 3, 4, sometimes like 5 times in a day. It was literally to the point where I couldn't get it up anymore, and I would still keep doing it. And I didn't realize what it was doing at the time. I just thought it was completely normal. And so at first it started off with just, you know, once or twice a week. But then as time progressed, I got more and more addicted, and I would do it more and more, to the point where it pretty much became like one of the only things that I thought about throughout my entire day. And so by the time I was in high school, I was doing it like every single day, multiple times a day. And so I was pretty down bad at this point, but it only got worse from there. In my junior year of high school, the pandemic struck, and that forced us to lock down, and I was stuck in my home. And so what do you think I did? Bored all day, stuck at my home. What do you think I did all day? Besides playing video games and eating junk food, I was fapping like 6 times every single day. And it was to the point where I had no control over it. My addiction was so deeply rooted that I had 0 control over what I did. And honestly, after every time I finished, I felt dirty. I felt disgusting with myself. I was disgusted with myself. But then I discovered self-improvement, and more specifically NoFap. And so I heard all these great things about NoFap, about how it improved mental health, improved self-image, and it also gave you more energy throughout the day. And so I figured I might try this. And on top of that, I started reading the Bible more, and I learned more and more about lust and self-control. And I realized that if we don't take control of the bad addictions, if we don't start and try every single day and fight the good fight every single day with our distractions and our bad addictions, then they're gonna consume us and take control of us, and then we're gonna end up doing some really bad things if we can't control ourselves. And so it was in 2022 when I started NoFap, and initially I could barely go 1 day without fapping, literally. And then over time, maybe a few months later, I could do 2 days, then maybe 3 days without it. But then I'd have like an entire week of relapse, and then it'd be like a reset. And then I'd go 1 day, then 2 days, then 3 days. And then over time, I could go 4 days, and then sometimes even 5 days, and then relapse. You know how it is. You've probably experienced this same thing. But I didn't give up. I kept going because I knew this was the only way out. I knew it was my only escape. Eventually, I could do it for up to a week and then relapse, and then up to 2 weeks and then relapse. And so I actually started to get pretty good at this. I was going on average like 5 or 6 days without any relapse. The thing was, it took me a whole year to get to that point. And that was in 2023 before I left to join the Army. And so it was in October 2023 when I left to go to basic training, and I went 2 months without any relapse. And then I went to advanced training where we had more freedom, and so I ended up relapsing there. But the point was, I was pretty good at controlling it at that point. And I knew that I could go months without it. And so after I got back from training, I would get back onto that schedule of relapsing probably once every week. And so I've kind of been that same way for the last few months, some months being higher, other months being lower. And so I've been able to control it to a pretty good point. And so that brings me to where I am today. This month, I relapsed 6 times. And you know, for some people that might sound really good, for others, not so good. The thing is, I want that number to be at 0. That's the goal. And so I think opening this up to you guys isn't only going to help you, but it's also going to help me and my accountability. Because if I'm not honest with you guys and I'm not honest with myself, how am I going to grow? How am I going to get better and better, right? And how am I going to be able to help you if I'm there like the guy that's telling you what to do, but he can't even do it himself? So I need to set the example, right? I feel like I need to be the example for you guys so that I can relate with you guys in your struggles, because I've been through those struggles, bro. I know what it feels like. I know exactly what those struggles feels like. And it's a battle that I've been facing every single day for the last 2.5 years. And so before this next month starts, I want to go all in. I want to go all in on NoFap for this next month. And I want you guys to hold me accountable. I'm just putting this out there so that I could hold myself accountable, because I've gone pretty far at this point, but I think now it's time to go all in. And so before I go to church today and ask for forgiveness, I wanted to make this video for you guys. And I also just wanted to read you guys a quote from the Bible that's really helped me through these struggles. For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality, that each one of you know how to control his own body in holiness and honor. And so if you're struggling with NoFap or any sort of addiction, I know what that feels like, bro. Firsthand, I know what it feels like. I've been struggling with it for 2 years. And the thing is, I never quit. And so I got to the point where I'm at today. And I feel like opening this up will not only help you guys, but it's gonna help me too. So keep going. Every single day is gonna be a fight. Every single day is gonna be a battle. And some days you're gonna lose. Just accept that some days you're gonna lose, but you gotta fight the good fight. And so I hope this video helped you out as much as possible. My name is Justin, and remember, you deserve the consequences of your actions.